and looking pretty confident too, Eddie. They finished that first stanza with great aplomb, and I must say in the final quarter of that first half, they controlled it. The kicking game got back into top quality, led of course by Kevin Sinfield. Be interesting to see how St. Helens can respond to this. They certainly need something. They'll be looking for Johnny Lomax for something really outstanding.
Well, he's underneath the kickoff, and I think the point that Phil made during half-time is very well made. You know, they've come here so many times, the Leeds Rhinos, they've conceded 40 points or more. They certainly did last season, 12 months ago. They have been plotting and planning for this, obviously, not ever since, but certainly all this week. They've been doing some very, very intricate work on the training ground, no doubt about that.
Well, I think we'd be critical of Leeds if they hadn't learned any lessons from last year. You know, it wasn't just on the road as well. Saints scored 77 points last year, and they might have a few more. They'll knock on. Here's Vickery.
It is. It's a chance for Vickery. It was a knock-on. It went straight into Vickery's chest, and he accepted the gift.
It was
McCarthy
great work.
Scarsbrook, and then young Josh Jones couldn't keep hold of it.
I was just saying, Eddie, St. Helens scored 77 points in 2 games against Leeds last year. Surely if you don't learn from that, then you are a fool, aren't you? And the Leeds Rhinos have shown Brian McDermott's side are no fools here. Lessons learned from last year and applied here tonight.
Yes, very much so. And Ablett here in possession. That's only the second tackle gone, and they're 15 metres or so away from the St. Helens line. And Burrow, with that little trademark run of his, finds Maguire, and he looks on his inside, and Sinfield is the ever-willing recipient. Here is McShane now. They're 10 metres away, inching ever closer to that line. Kirk will drive his 6'4" frame towards that goal line, and he's held up by Paul Clough.
Callum Watkins out on this left-hand side. Willie Link.
Short ball to Richard Moore from Kevin Sinfield. There's the last tackle. And here's a try. It is a try for Ian Kirk, I think. Is it already? He's not given it yet.
Well, the ball bounced, but I think that he's got it down.
Just checking the grounding, apparently. And Ian Kirk, just 3 starts last year out of 25 appearances. Has he got this down cleanly?
No, he's lost it.
You're right.
But has it gone backwards? That's the next thing. I can't remember where this ball finished up.
But his last try was at Wembley, and this isn't going to be one.
I think it's Manu that gets to him and drags the ball-carrying arm. Talk about a try-saver. Now, did that come off
offside,
Lomax to offside position? I think it will. This could be a penalty. And the way that Leeds are just trying to control and slow this game down, I think you'll find Mr. Sinfield will say we'll take the 2. Why not?
Well, they've deemed the first infringement was the knock-on by Ian Kirk, and that's why it's not a penalty.
What an effort by Willie Manu. What an effort by Willie Manu in defence for that. Sia Soliolo went onto the right-hand side, and I think left St. Helens a little short. That's the hole that Ian Kirk ran into there. But Willie Manu saw that he needed to pull out with something special. Managed to dislodge the ball. Ian Kirk, no try. All credit to Willie Manu.
Well, I find that difficult to see how on earth that was a knock-on. Either way, it was confusing, but they've got away with it.
Well, they've deemed he's lost the ball over the line, which he did. But what you're saying, I think, is the ball went backwards from him.
Yep. Good kick, good chase, good tactics. This is turning into a good game. Good arm wrestle.
This game will open up. Don't worry about that. These are 2 very, very good sides that pride themselves on the defence. And they won't be too disappointed that it's only 8-4 at half-time. They'll be happier with that than if it was 24-20 or 24-20. But I do believe this game will open up.
Well, it certainly did on that occasion, because the Saints' defence was all at sea, apart from the last gasp from Manu to save the day.
McShane gets the pass away to Brett Delaney, carrying the scars of battle.
Now, this is one of the very few occasions that they force Leeds to kick from deep down in their own half. Burrow gets it away, right down the throat of the fullback, Johnny Lomax.
And Melly will bring it forward for the Saints. Lomax again.
Interesting to see how Nathan Brown, the Saints coach, is utilising Lomax, even though he's playing at full back. He's jumping in, taking first receiver, trying to control things there. Well, that's got to be now.
That's a penalty.
Oh, come on, referee.
He's not giving it, and they might not need it. This is Soliola.
Oh, the chance was there, wasn't it?
Just couldn't get the ball away, could he?
Wheeler was there.
Looking. Yes, he was.
This has got to have some height on it. Put the pressure under Watkins.
It's Wheeler again, cuts inside, Ward slides it through. Great defence from Watkins. Callum Watkins.
Yeah, put his body on the line, and that's what you expect from a top quality professional. And young Callum Watkins certainly saved the day. But this is a big hole for Leeds to get out of.
That could have been deemed as an obstruction because he ran behind Danny Maguire then. Paul Wellens is in the coach's box alongside Nathan Brown. Saint skipper and coach together.
Bit of a problem for Ryan Hall. He's limping back here on this left wing. He's in all sorts of trouble.
That'll be a blow for the champions if he has to come off. Maguire dinks it over the top, looking for the winger out wide. Oh, it's soccer skills on that far side. Didn't quite come off for Joe Vickery.
We've got a real battle of territory now. Where can St Helens get to on this last tackle if they get there? And can they put a better attacking kick in than last time?
Well, it's not right, Ryan Hall, so it's obvious that Saints want to lift it on the right-hand side in attack. They've got to spread it as quick as they can. They've got to put the pressure on Hall, who can hardly walk, never mind run.
Yeah, he's hobbling about at the bottom and right-hand side of your screen. Here, meanwhile, is Josh Jones for the Saints.
They're getting over the advantage line a lot easier than they did in the first half.
Oh, he did well then, Jordan Turner, to hang on to that. And he gets it away to Soliola. And Soliola, it opens up for him suddenly. Soliola's looking for support. It arrives. And Clarkson got to the tackled player. And that's going to be the turnover. Jordan Turner, they ran it on the last there, Saints. But he's not right, Ryan Hall.
He did well, Ryan Hall, just to put him on. He's waved him away and said, I'm staying on, don't worry about that. But I'm not so sure that it might be foolish for him to stay out there.
Great bait from Soliola, but wouldn't be pleased again with the end of that set by them. They look a little bit disorganised when it comes to the final play. I guess if you're looking to put a kick in, it's not Sia Soliola is not the man you'd want to have the ball in his hands. Yet he did very, very well when he managed to break through. John Wilkins got to take charge, especially on last tackle plays.
The medical verdict on Ryan Hall, who's got it here, is he's just picked up a bit of a dead leg. That's where he got the injury. Here is Maguire's high kick. This is good. This is a good kick. Well claimed by Lomax. Had to come about 20 metres then to claim that.
Well, we knew they put him under pressure, but he's handled it exceptionally well as Lomax.
It's interesting to me, Eddie, the number of defenders that Leeds seem to get in a lot of the tackles, 3s and 4s. When I watched Melbourne Storm, they seem to do that, didn't they? They want to control their opponents with the ball. They're not allowing any faster play of the balls. They really want to wrestle the guys to the ground, and Leeds seem to have picked up that habit. Certainly moving up fast to defence, but not quick enough to stop Pulatua.
Oh, what a pass from Pulatua. And a very important tackle by Delaney, and then Sinfield came in, and was that a flop from Sinfield?
Well, that deserves a sin bin as far as I'm concerned. That is a professional foul. You talk about experience.
Watch this pass from Pulatua.
Yeah,
wow.
Unbelievable. Good support, but what about the tackle by Delaney? And
yeah,
then
he was pushed down, wasn't he, as he's trying to get up and play the ball quickly.
Well, he deserves a sin in the sin bin as far as I'm concerned, because that is a professional foul.
That was sensational by Pulatua. That's magic from him. A huge man, difficult to handle. He runs it all in again. That's as good an offload as you'll see.
London look as though they have found their feet at last in the Super League this year. 22-0 up at Salford.
And that's good to see.
Yes, and all the talk from Salford has been about who they're going to sign and the money they're going to spend on the likes of Sam Tompkins, Adrian Morley and Rangi Chase. I wonder if Craig Gower's next. Oh, another backhand. They've got all the tricks at the moment, Saints. That was Willie Manu, I think.
And they're building in confidence.
Short side. Manu, good tackle by Sinfield. He drops the ball, Manu.
That's called pressure defence. Manu knew it as well. The captain has come to the rescue yet again. And they're calling for the wingers to take the pressure off.
Well, it's called a Super League, and you should have to do something super, something special to score a try. Both sides defending tonight as though a try would cost them the game, and it's nice to see the pride, really, that they want to prevent points. Phil Vickery came up with a good play, didn't he, just a few seconds ago to shut down St Helens trying to attack. We need something extraordinary to break through the line and put on some points.
Peacock driving it forward again for the Leeds Rhinos.
The one thing about Peacock, he gives you that advantage, doesn't he? And he sucks the defenders in.
This is the last tackle. Ryan Hall still limping on this near side. We'll get an update on his condition from Bill when we see what happens here. Oh, not played, that knocked on.
That's it.
I think the referee will say that's the zero tackle, which he does. And so let's go down to Bill.
Ryan Hall has once again waved away the trainer as Saints put the ball down. Hall got a bang just around the hip. That's what discomforted him. He's still flexing it slightly, but any approach from the Leeds physio, and Ryan Hall angrily waves him away. And Kylie Luluai has just gone back out there for a stint. He was so keen to get out on the pitch that he ran on still with his yellow training bib on and had to be hauled back.
He's got it off now, and fortunately the nosebleed that he had in the first half has stopped as well.
You saw that period of play there, a little bit of panic by St Helens. They came up with a knock-on.
Watkins will stand and play the ball to Maguire. Here is Luluai now.
And that's all they need. Just get good field position. And that in the first half.
Here's Maguire. Maguire then gets the pass to Sinfield. He finds Ablett. Ablett is looking to spin and get the pass away, but there was no way he could under pressure from Manu and company. Burrow to Sinfield. Here's Peacock. And Peacock goes down underneath the St Helens posts. Paul McShane is waiting here. Sinfield, short ball. Luluai loses it.
No advantage. Well, a little bit of pressure play there. And you could see that he was well covered. He didn't really commit himself. Sort of hesitated, and if you do that, you've no chance of catching that wide thing.
What a fantastic record Kylie Luluai has had in his time at Leeds. He does say this is going to be his last year. 5 Grand Finals, 5 World Club Challenges, 3 Challenge Cup Finals. Not bad.
Yeah, he's been a great servant.
He's been in a great team, hasn't he? He's been in the middle of the golden decade.
Yeah, but he's not one of these fancy free players. He just gets through his hard work, and sometimes that's what you need.
Percival! Look at the speed of this young man. Well, there's all Leeds with him. Saints were struggling to keep up. Melly did, and Lomax scooted in a dummy half.
Good work by Watkins, it had to be, but Percival did very well, mainly due to the fact he did not panic. Didn't try to kick, didn't try to be too fancy. Knew that a good position was going to be available for his team.
Win, lose or draw tonight for Saints. Mark Percival is a tremendous big tick in the box for Saints on his debut. This is Manu. He had to pick that up off his bootlaces. That's the last tackle coming up here now for Saints.
Not only that, Maguire swinging round his neck. Good work on the blind side.
Lomax with the kick. Was charged down. Is it 6 to go? Or is no? Still on the last, says the referee.
Got to get it away. He didn't realise.
I think Manu thought that was a charge down, you know. Yeah. And so did all the crowd.
John Wilkin is furious. He was screaming at Manu as he kept crawling across. This is the kick from Lomax. The ball hit the man rather than the other way around. And he saw it quite clearly there that the prop forward never moved the arms. The officials got it spot on.
Leeds survived then, that raid. Here is Luluai again. And Burrow. Clarkson on the run, and met fair and square by another teenager, Joe Greenwood. Sinfield, Peacock, Greenwood down low, Louis McCarthy up top, brings him down on the 5th.
Got to go for length, and they've done it.
He's done that. It's Paul McShane.
Ooh, nearly hit the post, didn't he? The covers. This will be back on the 20. Leeds happy to get that one line on the 30. Watch them get into it. Here comes a man that goes through the brick wall, but not on this occasion.
Now Gardner is pulled to ground. Big Tony Pulatua. Roby now flicks the pass away.
That's a great kick. See the backspin on that. That's why it's slowing up.
And Ryan Hall limps his way to his own line and picks it up. The chase is good as well. Whoa!
Great work from Roby. And any youngster watching the hooker there, James Roby, when he put the kick in, he ran in front of all his players and was shouting to them, "I have put you onside," but they've got a relief of the Rhinos.
Yes.
They're caught offside.
Saints offside.
Well, you can see since the half-time break, St Helens have improved, you know, with the meters. In fact, Leeds starting to miss 1 or 2 tackles, and that could be a worrying concern for the Rhino supporters. Stats are suggesting that the St Helens side could be scoring due to score next, really, with the dominance that they've had over the last 10 minutes.
Well, you're right, Phil. When you look down the Rhinos, they've missed 12 as against Saints only 5, and you just get a feeling the pendulum is just swinging towards the home side. But again, good position. You've got to give credit to this Rhinos pack. They have worked tirelessly to get themselves into a good position so that the likes of Sinfield, Maguire can get the kick away.
Here is Maguire. There is Peacock.
He's been
solid
outstanding.
run. He has last week and this. It shows you what a great off-season has done for Jamie Peacock this year. Not involved in the internationals. Had a good off-season break. Has come back. Well, he looks fitter, stronger and younger than his 35 years, that's for sure. Here's Maguire. Gets it away to Joel Moon, and Joel Moon has support. And a good job that Jordan Turner was there.
They were struggling there. Turner came to the rescue. Moon did the right thing. And you could see the try was a begging. They really are putting under pressure. I've been impressed with Joel Moon since his switch to Leeds. It really has settled in well.
Well, he's going to challenge you, Steve, and he's going to put you under pressure. They just about dragged him down that occasion, but he was managed to toss the ball in. Gary Wheeler, the man that was having difficulty with Joel Moon, and he's picked up an injury after that. However, the promising thing for Nathan Brown was the scramble in the St Helens defence. Jordan Turner coming back on that occasion and batting the ball dead. That's a positive thing for a coach to see.
Over half an hour now since we have seen any points registered in this match. It's a real struggle. 8-4 to the champions, the Leeds Rhinos.
And under this sort of pressure, they realise that just one missed tackle, one mistake, just one poor position on the field allows the opposition to take advantage. That look forward, and he's got it as the official.
Yes, he saw it. Burrow looks a bit perplexed.
He shouldn't be. I think he knows that it's gone forward.
They do try and play very flat, don't they? Which doesn't give the defender long to react and adjust, Eddie. But so far this season, that's the 8th time now they've been pulled for a forward pass, more than any other team in Super League. Sometimes it comes off, and when it does, it's points. When it doesn't, it's possession to the other side, as you see Gary Wheeler helped off with the medics.
Yes, don't tell me that his awful luck with injuries for Gary Wheeler is continuing again. He has caused various St Helens coaches problems with his injuries, but they have obviously deemed him to be well worth persevering with, and he's quite a player when he is 100%.
Paul Wellens in the match programme said he does things in the training field, Eddie, that makes experienced players look stupid. Very, very talented, great footwork. It's disappointing for him, obviously, more than anybody else to come off injured in that game. He would love to stitch them a run of games together, but it's not to be on this occasion. But he'll be cheering his teammates on and hoping they can go on and claw this game back and go on for a win.
Yeah, and those comments on the back of a record of only 52 games in 5 years for Gary Wheeler. This is the middle of a fairly trying and extensive period in the Leeds Rhinos season. They had Melbourne last week, they've got Saints this week, they've got Huddersfield and Warrington, both at Headingley, in the next fortnight. And they've got Wigan.
It's not an easy run, that is for sure, but...
Sorry, Huddersfield, then Wigan, not Warrington.
They are looking pretty confident, though, aren't they? OK, there's only 4 points separate the team.
How did I get that wrong? Because Leeds Wigan is with us live. And it's going to be in 3D as well. First 3D from the Super League in 2013.
You don't make many, Eddie.
Oh, I make plenty, don't worry about that.
Ablett. Good work from Ablett, that was fair, wasn't it? Wilkin coming to the rescue. But look how they're getting the advantage line. What a tackle!
Soliola right round the body of the skipper. Maguire will hoist the kick in, looking for Hall out wide, finds Hall out wide. Oh, they surrendered it there, the Saints. That's play on, it's play on, and Luluwai gets over. Luluwai with a try for the Rhinos, I think. It's going upstairs.
Yeah, we are doing offside and grounded. No, I don't think so.
Well, Luluwai's had a bloody nose, he's been off and on, he came on with a bib on.
They're all onside. That's fine. They'll roll it on now. It was definitely touched by a Saints player.
They just surrendered this to Ryan Hall.
Yeah, Gardner didn't put him, and it was a poor attempt, wasn't it? Turner tried to get through it. McCarthy Scarsbrook gets to it. Was that a knock-on by Luluwai? They'll go back again and have a little touch of this. Well, Gardner really should have hammered him. Does he knock on? Does he touch it? Well, that's a difficult one.
I don't think he touches the ball. There's a gap, isn't there? It's Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook who touches the ball. He pulls away before he touches it.
I think
just the grounding.
Yeah,
that's the question.
I think he's all right with the grounding. Well, he'll enjoy this. No problem with that at all.
Well, he's a Samoan international. He has played for the Exiles against England.
This is TRY time, don't worry about that.
And he's had these glorious 6 seasons, or he's starting his 6th season with the Rhinos, and he could easily have scored a crucial try here.
Yeah, it's got to be given.
I think he knows. I think the Leeds fans who have braved the trip across on the motorway chaos know the try is given to Carly Luluwai, and they suddenly double their lead.
Well, it's no surprise that it had to come from a high kick, and it was high as well. But this is where Eddie Gardner, it's one thing allowing the player to take the ball, but as soon as he gets it, you've got to battle him. You've got to get him to the ground, and all he did was allow the man. What's the Leeds player? The winger takes it, and instead of Gardner hammering Hall, he just pushes him away. Okay, gets a look at the green, gets a bounce, but that's a great finish.
Yeah, big man from that range, difficult to stop, and Sinfield will surely add the extras here, which he does, and suddenly Leeds open up a 10-point gap.
Well, we saw something very similar last week, Eddie, in the World Club Challenge between Leeds and Melbourne. Crossfield kick, the winger being allowed to go up and take it. I don't have a problem with that. But what Eddie Gardner needs to do is that when Ryan Hall's feet return to the ground, hit him as hard as he possibly can. Wrap up the ball and do not let him allow it offloaded. He did on this occasion. Kylie Luluwai was going to be too big and too strong. Sia Soliolo did his very, very best to strip the ball. Luluwai probably still maintained contact, but the lesson for that is if Ryan Hall is going to be allowed a free catch, as soon as he returns to the ground, you've got to wrap that ball up.
Yeah, you've got to belt him, and I'm afraid he didn't. He just pushed him. A feeble push at that. But this guy, he knows now, at 14-4, the experience, Jamie Peacock, he'll just trundle it up all night. They've been so effective as the forwards from the Rhinos tonight. They've shared the workload as well.
2008, the last away win for the Leeds Rhinos against Saints.
And he's back to his best, isn't he? In and out, shake it all about.
Finds Clarkson with the pass. Finds Joel Moon, who he just steps inside one. He's on his way. Ryan Hall is. And Ryan Hall gets his second try of the night. And Leeds could be going home with a very important 2 points this evening.
Great play by the centre. Joel Moon has impressed me. He impressed me last year. And it was no surprise when Leeds threw the checkbook at him. So you're coming over to Rhino land, and I tell you what, he's settled in exceptionally well. But this guy is back to his best. No beep beep. Robbie Barrow. See how they just hang off. You're always in trouble when you're hanging off like that. Got to go low, the fend and the feed. Here's a guy that couldn't walk 5 minutes ago. Look at that. He's difficult to stop. And when he can confuse no less than 6 players and have the centre that can fend and then over the top, he knows how to finish.
Yes, he does. That's the unlucky 13th try. Or is it the lucky 13th try for Ryan Hall against the Saints since his debut in 2007?
You just can't get him down, can they? The overhead pass, Ryan Hall. I'm limping, but I'm taking that try.
The previous 12 would have been scored much easier by him than that, but it was all down to Burrow and Joel Moon.
Could also give some credit to Danny Maguire, because I think it was the quick play of the ball from the run Maguire, which then had Burrow bouncing off people, didn't it? When defenders are in reverse going backwards to get onside with the referee, it makes Burrow look even more dangerous, and obviously they couldn't get a hold of him quick enough.
Well, strangely, he has missed one tonight. But that's all. Great kick from Sinfield. And Leeds have taken the stranglehold on the match. They lead by 20 points to 4. And Nathan Brown's Langtree Park agony goes on.
Completely outplayed in the second half. It was touch and go in the first 40 minutes, and not surprisingly, to the delight of their coach Brian McDermott, this will be a wonderful boost for the Leeds side and the coach Brian McDermott, because mentally, to try to get his players up after that particular game last week is going to be very, very difficult indeed. But they've done it, and they have responded.
Straight down to Bill.
And Gary Wheeler's injury jinx has struck again. The young man has just reappeared from the treatment room on crutches. He's, I think, sitting in the Saints dressing room at the moment, and this time it's a hamstring injury that has forced him off the field, and he really has had wretched luck with a string of injuries, and this one probably will keep him out for some time. Saints fans pretty dejected once again at home, and the Leeds fans who've had a torrid journey to get here. There is Gary Wheeler sitting dejectedly in that Saints dressing room. It's the Leeds fans, some of whom have been sitting on the Transpennine motorway for 4 hours this afternoon. Well, at least they're going to have a very jolly journey home by the look of things.
Unless there's a few more junctions closed.
I can tell you, when you see those pictures of Gary Wheeler, it hits home. I've been in that position too many times for my liking when I played, and it really is depressing, especially if it keeps hitting you. You keep coming back with these injuries, and you're trying to put a run of games together, and there's nothing sometimes you can do about it.
Well, 52 appearances in 5 years for a young man, it's soul destroying, and he just has to try and keep coming back all the time. London 26-0 up against Salford. Salford, who thought that they had maybe turned the corner with their comeback win last week against Hull KR. Not so. 26-0 London. That's got to be their first win of the season.
And it'll be a great relief as well to all the London fans.
Well, a lot of the clever punters predicted that, didn't they? They saw the London victory coming on Brian's pre-show event.
We'll have a report on the match at Salford, and we'll also have all the tries for you in Super League extra time. Brian does the extra stint, gets the overtime in. You can, of course, watch that via your Sky remote. You can record it via your Sky remote. It's a 4-hour shift today, eh, Brian?
Any more subscriptions will be going up.
This is LaFranchi.
Went close as well.
He did, very close.
A bit light on the left-hand side. They got the other way, though.
Looking to score the next try and get themselves back into this match. This is Jordan Turner.
3, move. Wait here. Goal 3.
That was Josh Jones. Here is Soliola.
4, move. Jamie.
Good tackling by the Leeds defence. Lomax. Down he goes.
When you step like that, you need a second phase, and there was no one coming.
Last one here. Wilkin with the kick. Oh, that's going to bounce, is it? No. It's back to... Oh!
Turner's knocked
Jordan
on.
Turner put it down with a knock on.
Well, a golden opportunity there. Ryan Hall decided not to go and dive on it.
They got 6 to go. Look for all money as though they were going to score here. If he catches that, he goes in, Jordan Turner, and he couldn't.
Steve-O, Johnny Lomax stepping back inside when he had the ball. He needed to pass it. They had done enough work. There was Leeds players caught on the short side that shouldn't have been there. So St Helens had a numerical advantage out wide. Johnny Lomax unable to find the pass on that occasion. But a positive for them, they had Leeds caught short.
Yeah, but when you have someone coming back on the inside, it confuses the defence. When he steps on his own, it's easy to defend.
Jamie Peacock's like a bottle of red wine, isn't he?
He's had a great game.
Better as the years go by.
And I tell you what, this guy is not far behind him, Brett Delaney.
Wait.
Well, he topped the tackle count against Melbourne last week, did Delaney. That was the size of his contribution, albeit in defeat, at 20 points to 4, with, 12 and a quarter minutes remaining. Looks like he might be on the right side of the register tonight. Sinfield with a high kick. Gardner allowed that to come to him, and then Leeds, in the shape of Joel Moon and Ryan Hall, drilled him into the ground. Look, bang.
I suppose some of the St Helens supporters might be sitting here now, especially those who are watching and tuning in on Sky, thinking, well, what's happened to our attack? It's almost 2.5 hours now that we've been covering them at home this season, and they scored 1 try, 4 points against Huddersfield, only 4 points here tonight. One wonder might happen. What's happened to the razzle-dazzle, and where will the points and breaks come from the St Helens team?
The only thing I will say in mitigation for Saints is that they do have 5, maybe 6 first-teamers sitting in the stand at the moment. That's the only thing you can say for them at this moment in time.
And also, let's give credit to this Leeds defence. They've been superb tonight.
And Callum Watkins picks up. They went for a 40-20. We're going to see the Saints again next week. They're at Warrington. Friday, Sky Sports 2 HD at 7:30. So often in the past they've been Warrington's bogey side, but not lately. And on Saturday we'll take our first look at London. They look like they're going to be victorious tonight. At Salford they take on Hull Kingston Rovers.
Third. Go. Well back here, that's off the 4, that's all right. Play on 4. Go. And
a good build-up yet again. This guy's he's on top form. Look at that, trying to shield it.
Backwards.
Hasn't got away with it. That'll be play on. Is over the advantage line.
Josh Jones just knocked the ball backwards and came to the rescue.
We spoke about this game in the warm-up. Barry and Terry agreed with a point that Phil has made during the commentary, that Leeds Rhinos have benefited from the standard they played at and the team that they played at last week against the Melbourne Storm. Tight game, only 4 points in it in the end, and they had to battle for 80 minutes, and they came here tonight with that same mentality.
That's a lovely pass from Lomax. It's that man Percival again, and he gets it to Melly, but down he goes under the shackle of Kirk.
Great work from Kirk.
A burrow around the legs like a little tiger.
Well, that Mark Percival, he really has done a great job on Carl Ablett. Ablett is sick and tired of seeing his face into him. He's been tremendous, hasn't he, the youngster Percival?
Josh Jones, last one coming up here for Saints, this set of 6. High off the boot of Wilkin again. And Watkins comes for it and drops it, knocks it backwards.
Offside. Oh, he's got them for offside.
Yes, he's got St Helens offside here.
Well, that may have come about by John Wilkin. He got the kick away, but didn't run past. Watch him get the kick away. There are certainly offside on this side there, and I think if you look, and I think it's Soliola.
Jordan Turner, I think, Steve-O, that's the man he picked out.
Well, Turner and Soliola was in front of the kicker.
Listen, are these problems that St Helens are suffering at home the result of the fact that they have a new coach at the helm and it's his new ideas that these St Helens players have to get used to?
Bit of that, Eddie, a bit of what you mentioned before, which is the big players they've got missing. And I guess he's not settled. I'm not sure at the start of the season he thought he'd have John Wilkin and Gary Wheeler as his halves and Johnny Lomax playing at fullback. That's quite a bit of disruption in pivotal positions. He does have one constant though, and I think he deserves a mention in a team that I think might lose this game, St Helens. James Roby again has been outstanding. You talk about Kevin Sinfield with a consecutive run of games as we see Leeds turn the screw again. A consecutive run of good performances. I don't think there's anybody better than James Roby.
Well, you've got to give credit for this fella. He really has had a tremendous game, the youngster Mark Percival. But
he read the script defensively, didn't he?
Yeah, we've got to give this, once again, this great credit to Leeds. They've
been sensational tonight, they have.
They've controlled
they've ground
the
them
game
down early, and they've just taken control second half. It's very much like Warrington at Hull on last weekend on the Saturday.
Spot on.
Move, hold,
thank you.
go.
My pleasure.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan for Leeds. Oh, he smuggles the ball away to Burrow, and Burrow's trying to duck his way underneath them.
Hold Saints.
They're inventive, Leeds, aren't they, as well? They've been big in defence, and now they're showing a bit of their skills in attack with Maguire. And back it comes to Moon. A brilliant pickup inside to Callum Watkins. Watkins keeps it going to Ryan Hall, and Ryan Hall, well, no. I was going to say he'll stretch out and score. The referee was close to it, not 100% sure, and he's going to hand it upstairs to James Child to decide.
I think Phil Bentham is 99.9% sure that he's dropped it, but he just wants to make sure, and he catches it on the bounce, doesn't he, and then drops it again. So take the first one or the second one, doesn't matter. It's N-O-T-R-Y.
Still holding on there.
Short there, and loses it there, and there's the gap. See the terra firma through it. It's not a big decision. It's big on the ball, but not for James Child. This play, N-O-T-R-Y.
And it's a 20-metre restart.
He doesn't score there, but he is a great finisher, isn't he? I mean, in those sort of situations, he can contort his body, he can put himself into gaps, always seems to have a good reach with the ball. He doesn't manage to get those 4 points, but more often than not, give him half a chance, and he makes sure that points go on the board. Probably the best winger at the moment in this competition, is if for finishing those chances, and tough enough to play on through the pain barrier, run through that challenge that he suffered.
Not only that, Phil, his combination this season is going to be superb with Joel Moon. We saw Moon take an impossible pass that it was dipping to the ground.
Good movement from Saints. Lomax, wide to go to Percival. Wide he goes to Francis Melly, and Melly will get over in the corner. Well, Percival has a lot of pace. It was brilliantly engineered down the left-hand side. It might just be consolation, but that was an excellent try. Maybe too little too late, though.
But it shows that they've got the ability to keep that ball alive, and that will be pleasing Nathan Brown. Okay, he knows that they're being shut out. Johnny Lomax, wonderful there. And great pass from Mark Percival. You know, young kids, sometimes, as we often mention, wide line fever, but he didn't. Had to reach back for it, Melly. Gets in at the corner. A touch too late, maybe.
Well, Francis Melly with the try. Gary Wheeler is off the field, so the conversion attempt is in the hands of Jordan Turner. And he's missed it.
Mark Percival's done very well here, Steve-O. You're right, holding the ball in two hands. How often have we seen teams get into a position and blow a 2v1? Well, James Roby slipping the ball, Willie Manu then to Lomax coming around, and Percival here has a chance. He's got to try and fix Callum Watkins as a fullback. And the only reason it looked awkward at the end is I think Francis Melly might hold his hand up to probably overrunning the pass a little, and that's why he had to reach back. He was, though, talented enough, Francis, to juggle the ball and ground it in the corner. But I don't think it's going to be enough for St Helens against a Leeds side who I thought were impressive last week in defeat against Melbourne. They're more impressive tonight in victory. I think a victory against St Helens.
Well, in the past, you would never, ever have written off the Saints with 5 minutes to go and 2 converted tries needed for a draw. But I think we're all guilty of it tonight. Can't see them coming back and doing that, and that is the commentator's curse, of course, because it'll probably happen now. But there's been no signs of it tonight. They've been outplayed, really, by Leeds. Out-muscled, out-thought. This is Lafranchi. Roby waits. He was at the heart of the movement for the try. They're going down that way again. Manu gets it away. Flicked off the fingertips of Roby. To the rescue once again. Wilkin with a long kick down the middle. Here's Ryan Hall.
Eddie, the one thing that Brian McDermott, the Rhinos coach, will be very, very pleased with, we've spoken about the defence, he'll be happy with that. But the amount of pressure that they've applied when it comes to St Helens trying to get the kick away, there's always been either 1 or 2 players hounding them down, applying that pressure, and it just eats away at the opposition.
Surrender.
They say, get away from me.
Stand up. Hold. Goal 3.
Here comes Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Now, did we see a shoulder charge missed here? A penalty by Lulawai, or was that a legitimate tackle? The official says legitimate.
Well, I think he was raising one of the arms, so that perhaps saved him.
34-4, London, latest. Oh, drop goal was being thought of by Sinfield. Drop goal was attempted by Maguire. It went underneath the bar.
Well, at 20 points to 8 with less than, well, I'd say just over 3 minutes to remaining, but Sinfield was looking for that one. Maguire, not the best. He'll admit to that, but he'll also admit to the fact that his forwards have really allowed the three-quarter line to shine. Maguire, Sinfield, they've worked as a unit, and the kid's off again.
That was wonderful stepping from Percival. They're going to go in here. They're going to go in with Manu. They're going to go in with Melly for his second. They're going to go in with Melly. That's a second try for Francis Melly. Percival has created that for him. Surely not. Surely not.
If it is, we're going to have one of the greatest finishes in Super League history. It goes down that left side again, the St Helens left edge. They need to get the ball into Percival's hands. He knows what he can do, and he's got some good support either side. But it's great scramble defence from Rob Burrow. That means Francis Melly has quite a bit to do to struggle and eventually get over the line. But this man, Steve-O, it's quite an appearance and quite a performance from Mark Percival.
You're right, Brian. He has made a huge impact. Can Turner leave us with a tingling finish? Oh, he's missed it. Just when we needed it to keep everybody on their toes, he misses.
Well, they've had 3 attempts at goal. This is the third. With either Wheeler, who's off injured, or Turner. And there we are. All missed. 2 tries for Francis Melly in the stage of the last 3 minutes. So 20 points to 12.
Is that a gimme, Eddie, for a kicker, professional kicker?
No, I've never kicked one in my life, Brian. I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm 1 from 1, but no, it's
a problem for St Helens. I think you're right, Brian. You know, to win at this level, the margin between the best and the rest isn't that wide, but 2 points would have made a big difference, as would the earlier. They have obviously an issue. Since Jamie Foster left the club, they've dabbled with Gaskell, Wheeler, Jordan Turner. Obviously, they're now trying to kick. They haven't settled yet on one player who they're confident enough can do it, but in some games they've been good enough to win through tries. In the tighter games against the better sides, goal kicking may prove more important.
Emphatic first win of the season for the Broncos at Salford. Here, It's 3 tries apiece, incidentally. It's the kicking of Sinfield that is the difference. Turner, they come wide and find Gardner from Josh Jones. Roby. 10 seconds remaining. Turner to Wilkin. He'll hoist it, will he? It's too far ahead of Francis Melly. Straight into the arms of Joe Vickery. And that noisy siren in the background tells you that's the game, and the Leeds Rhinos have won it. Well, they were 20 points to 4 up with 17 minutes remaining. And in the end, Melly, with his 2 tries late on, made it look respectable. But this was a very good win for the champs.
And proof that Kevin Sinfield was right to take those kicks at goal. I sometimes question it, but they took all the pressure off in the end, gave them that comfortable lead, and they backed their defence. That if they put points on the board, they'd be good enough to prevent St Helens from scoring, and they've clearly done that tonight, carrying on in a theme and a vein and the World Cup habits that they played against Melbourne last weekend.
Well, I think John Wells is waiting for us to look back on that second half, and a good win in the end for the Rhinos, John.
It was not as comfortable as they would have liked, though, would it? Saints under pressure from the off. Willie Manu called into action here inside the 2 minutes of the second half. Ian Kirk looked for all the world to have scored. Manu with a try-saving effort for his team, but also green shoots of life from Saints with Pulatuya. What about that for a pass? First class top draw, and applying much more pressure on the Rhinos as well. This from Roby from dummy half. Third tackle, clearing kick, and we'll pick up on that at the end of the game. Third tackle, picking out an injured Ryan Hall, turning him round. It's a great kick, and as we've tracked him all the way down the field, it's a great chase as well, and that's great field position gain for St Helens. But the thing about great players, and I'm talking about Ryan Hall here, is they respond to injury and pressure in the most positive of ways. Maguire with a lofted kick, Hall with a take, the unchallenged take. The pass inside wasn't perfect, but the key thing here, he was competing Luluai grounds to extend Leeds' leads, and then next was due in the main to some wonderful footwork from Rob Burrow and some terrible defence from Saints, it has to be said. The Buncer pass comes out to Clarkson, he takes him on the outside, turns it inside to Moon. The fend on Walker was too easy, and once it's in the hands of Hall, there's only one outcome, isn't there? And once again they were backing that up with some inspired goal line defence. We're going to have a look here at Lafranchi. He was one of Saints' better players today. A footwork again gets him through the Leeds line. But this will please Brian McDermott, and I know he places great value on this sort of character in defence. Look at the line speed and reorganisation here from Leeds. All this taking decision-making time and space away from St Helens. Another challenge there, snuffed out by the Rhinos. Saints did engineer a couple late on. Lafranchi again, able to get the offload away. That should never have been able to get away, over the top as well. And then Roby with a pass out. You'll see Lomax appear there across your screen, injecting himself into the line from fullback. Percival, he's made some yards down that left flank, and Melly finishing in the corner. Melly got another, didn't he? Really close to the final whistle. And once again, Percival, some great footwork to get him on the outside into some space. Picks the right pass on the inside, and Manu able to give the ball to Melly, who's a great finisher. We all know that. 12-20 the final score. Then just a point I made in the build-up to that. Kicking on the third tackle and the fourth tackle, a real feature of Saints' play today. Completion rates don't tell the story. 79% to Leeds, 73% to Saints. Doesn't seem too much of a harsh statistic. But when you consider that they're chucking away 2 or 3 tackles every single set in the first half, you can see where the damage was done. Bill Arthur has called the Heinz Big man of the match. I'm guessing it's a Rhino, Bill.
You're right, John. It's Jamie Peacock, a well-deserved man of the match award, Jamie. And after the effort that you and the team put in last Friday against Melbourne, a lot of people were anticipating that this would be a tough game to follow up. I mean, this was a big performance, wasn't it, from Leeds?
Yeah, it was. It was a tough game to back up. We put a lot of effort in against Melbourne and come up short, but we've got a big run of games coming up, and we've not won here before at Saints, and it's something we wanted to put right tonight.
2008, in actual fact. I mean, did that play in your mind, especially what happened last year? There was certainly evidence that you're not going to let that happen again this time.
Yeah, we just wanted to come out and play well, continue our form from last week. I thought we played well against Melbourne, come up short, and we've taken that form into this game, so and that's why we've come away with a win.
Did you take some of what you learned in that Melbourne game into tonight's performance?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we know what's working well for us at the moment. I think we showed that tonight.
It's working well for you as well. I mean, you look as though you're invigorated after a break.
Yeah. I'm enjoying myself. It's been good to have a proper pre-season. I'm playing in a good team. You know, that helps when you're playing a good team, and that's helping me. Well
done tonight, Jamie. Man of the match. You got £100 for charity as well. Where's that going to go?
Yeah. I'll split between three. I'll go joining Jack, the Leeds Foundation, and Macmillan Cancer. Them three, please.
Where's the extra penny go?
I don't know. You can have it, Bill.
Oh, thanks, Jamie. Well done tonight.
Cheers, John.
And John Wilkin, thanks for joining us, John. I mean, signs at the end of what the Saints are capable of, but you're just not hitting your straps yet this season. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I don't think there's many teams that have really hit the straps yet to 4 games in, and I think we struggled. I think we probably weren't as clinical as Leeds, and that told. They took their opportunities, and against good sides, if you don't take your opportunities, then you're really struggling. But I thought you got to credit Leeds. I thought they played fantastically well. Like you said, Jamie Peacock, he's really leading them forward at the moment, and they're a tough team to stop when they get on the roll. They've got Rob Burrow and the dummy halves who are dangerous out of there. So when they play the ball quick, they're a tough team to stop. But we're improving in little areas, but it's difficult for us at the moment. But we'll get better, and we're confident we will do.
Happy to play at scrum half. Do you want to stay there?
I think I might be the heaviest scrum half in the history of Super League, but yeah, no, throughout my career I've done what's best for the team, and I'll continue to do that. And it's as one of the more senior players, look, it's my job to be influential and guide this team in a little tough time for us. So yeah, there's no panic, and I think there's a lot to be encouraged about Mark Percival's debut today. I thought he was fantastic, and really pleased for him. But yeah, there's a lot to be positive about, but at the same note, we want to be winning our home games, and we've not started at home very well this year. We've lost 2, drawn 1, so that's something to address, and something we'll be looking to address in the next month or so.
John, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, Bill. Thank you.
Staying positive, he has to, John Wilkin, obviously, but yes, it's a poor home start to the season for the Saints. So this is the tale of the tape here. 20 points to 12, Leeds Rhinos won it. They were 20 points to 4 up at one stage. The match was in their pocket. The 2 tries from Francis Melly giving Saints a bit of respectability. Over 12,000 here, and just down the road at Salford, London, an important win for them, their first of the season. 38 points to 4 against the Salford City Reds. Will be disappointed after the effort they put in last Sunday against Hull Kingston Rovers. So let's have a look at the tables. Leeds then up to 3rd. They're there on their own. They're a point behind the Warrington Wolves, and of course they now have played their 4 games, as have Huddersfield and Warrington, but Leeds will end up the weekend with a game in hand. And down at the bottom, London have dumped the Salford City Reds to the foot of the table. They've exchanged places. They both now have 2. There are 4 teams there with just the 1 win, and we'll see another one of them tomorrow when the Widnes Vikings take on the Black and Whites of Hull FC. It's been a fantastic night if you're a Leeds Rhino supporter. They've bounced back, Steve-O, from the World Club Challenge last week, which was rough and it was tough and it was physical, it was mentally draining. But they have come here tonight and they have given a masterclass, really. Not a game full of flair, but a great game tactically by Brian McDermott and the Leeds Rhinos.
Without a doubt, they were absolutely superb. A lot of people who would have been watching would have said, why on earth is Sinfield taking his time, taking early in the game when they're in good position, taking penalties? He kicked 2. But what it did was just slow the game down. They came in last year and they got absolutely hammered, mainly due to the fact that they allowed St Helens to just get into their faces all the time. St Helens never really got into the swing of things until late in that game. It was a good finish. It was something for Nathan Brown to certainly build on. And this youngster, Mark Percival, this kid has got quality. Not only has he got a good step, he's got good balance, he's got plenty of speed, and he's certainly one for the future. And let's hope that we I don't want to throw praise on young kids because sometimes they can't handle it, but I have seen enough from this guy tonight to say that, he's going in the right direction. If he's coached extremely well, keeps his head right, keeps his feet on the ground, this guy is going to be something very, very special. And it needed something special to get against this Leeds side because I thought the forwards were just absolutely superb. Peacock just leading by example. Rob Barrow back to his best. Sinfield and Maguire just getting the links going. Everything was near as perfect as you could get. We call it professional. It's a professional game. And I tell you what, Brian McDermott should be very proud of a team, 17 players that played very professional indeed.
Yeah, they did. For St Helens, this run of theirs without a win at home goes on. the likes of Percival are in the side because of all the injuries that he has got to contend with. But he will be as tetchy as anybody to get a first win at home, won't he, Nathan?
Oh, yeah, look, they'll be disappointed, but, you know, he won't use that as an excuse. The thing that impressed me most about is the fact that Nathan Brown has got his defence sorted out. At the start against Huddersfield, they were just all over the shop. So he's worked on that. He's got that sorted out. When he gets the big players back, you'll even see more from the likes of Lomax and Percival. I thought their combination was great. I think that Johnny Lomax playing at full-back, I think that is his best position because he can decide when to come into the three-quarter line.
So you're scrubbing Wellens out of it now, are you?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if they put John Wellens in at loose forward. They've often done that in the past.
We shall see, and we shall see whether Widnes can get their second win of